Hello everybody, welcome back to the cabin. Welcome back to Commonwealth. Flipper, I got in an argument the other day. I guess we'll call it an argument, I suppose. In the Trash to Cash Reseller Facebook group, somebody was commenting on a thread and they said that, hey, I see YouTubers pick these up all the time and I've started picking them up and they just don't sell for me. This just can't possibly be true. I don't know what they're doing, why they're spreading this information. Well, that's a paraphrase. It maybe didn't sound quite that bad, but you get the point. And I had some immediate suspicions because I've heard this complaint about these types of items often, and there is some truth to this, but I want to talk about that a little bit as it relates to a couple other items as well. I actually sold 2 of these items today. You can sell these. They do sell, and some of them do sell for good money. It's not VHS, by the way, and that's something I've been criticized for a lot, and I get tons of emails still about VHS. I buy all these sealed VHS and they don't sell. Well, there's a reason behind that too, depending on which ones they are. But this item is something you've seen YouTubers, resellers, people pick up for years, and they're still picking them up, and there's really still a good reason to pick them up. We've got 3 or 4 sales before we get to those, and before we get to that topic, let's go take a look. By the way, I sometimes get that criticism on Facebook especially. We'll take old videos every once in a while and we'll put them back up there. We only put like, I think 3 or 4 new ones a week and then 2 old ones. And so sometimes in the older videos, the comps might not be accurate, especially if the video is from like the COVID era and it's a video game and the comp may be 20% higher than it could be. But this is something that's been in a staple, well, not this, but the item I'm going to talk about in a minute. It's been a staple of my store for a long time, and I suspect will be for a long... I'm gonna have to put this down, y'all. I finally got that down and totally forgot that the Stray Cats LP was back there. I might have to move it out here. I often say that I can remember exactly where I buy things, and oh, you know what? Just saying that, I was gonna say I can't remember where I bought this, but I know now exactly where I bought this, and I had totally forgot about it. I bought this from my buddy Jeff. We're at his sale where we bought a few pretty cool things. And Jeff, we appreciate you. But this, I don't remember what we paid for it. To be honest, we bundled it all together, but I think around 50 bucks. Because I didn't know if it was complete or anything. Actually, I think it is. I don't think it's sealed. The box has some damage. If you ever find these out there, y'all, Hot Wheels, T-Rex, Toys R Us exclusive, and it's T-Rex. This sold for $194 plus shipping. And I just looked at it, and it happens to be going to a first-time buyer. So #1 feedback is on that item right there. And it won't be the funnest thing to package up, but it won't be too bad. This sold right here, and it's not records either, although I haven't sold a record in forever, and you can see I have some listed. To me, a lot of LPs are very long tail. However, this one was not. This one sold super quick. And I had never heard of this, y'all, so forgive me. David Gilmore on an island bought this down there in Florida with Dave. Dave actually pointed it out. He was running around the house and he's like, hey, there's a sealed record there. And that one sold pretty darn quick, $26 plus shipping for a sealed LP. Anybody know who this is? Double gatefold? I don't even know. At any rate, hey, I'll take that sale for an LP all day long. Get my little LP shippers out of there. Actually, it looks like I might be out. I have to go in the back. Was at another sale down there. Matter of fact, it was early in the morning. We were getting out there and I had saw some pickers that I had recognized, I think from the reseller rally, and we were nice and talking to each other, and then we started to skip in front of each other to make sure we weren't competing for the same stuff. And I saw them leave a sale. They don't, I don't think they really look for this kind of stuff, and you know what? Neither do I. I don't normally look for tools, but I've gotten a little bit better at taking my time at some sales. And I saw this as, they were leaving. My buddy was looking at stuff. I said, Spearhead Power Punch Maxi Set. And I was like, well, let's take a look at it. And we looked it up, looked good inside. And I picked it up and it sold for $85 plus shipping. Years ago I used to pick up hats every once in a while, but I didn't know much about them. And I'd have some success, and some hats I wouldn't have much success. And I couldn't quite grasp it myself. So when I got to be buddies with Chernox Connection and Tim and Eric and all those guys at Reseller Information Network, by the way, shout out Leroy, because he's the tool guy over there. I decided I would learn a little bit more, and I had him down and we did how to clean hat video. We did another video about what are the right hats to look for, what are the keys to make sure you're selling the right things, and I got a little better at hats. And I'm going to talk about those right now. Now, this isn't going to be a hat video by any stretch. I'm just going to spend a couple minutes on it and really talk about a lot of the mistakes that a lot of folks make when they're out there grabbing hats, and then talk about 2 hats that I just sold. I went over there to look at the store, and the more I think about this, the initial conversation I saw was over on the reseller group, but I think the person I'm talking about was on my personal page. And, you know, whenever I see these pre-bent hats, I usually avoid them. Now, I won't avoid this one because it's the iconic colors of the Charlotte Hornets. It's got the tags and stuff in it, so it's got a little bit of value. This is the kind of stuff you're really looking for right here. But, you know, there's also the flat ones here. This is an Arizona Diamondbacks hat. And for some people, they can't really tell the difference between a hat they should pick up and a hat that they shouldn't pick up. So I looked at this person's store, and we had a little conversation. And sure enough, exactly what I thought was going on was going on. There were a few good hats in there that I would have picked up and I would have tried to sell. But, you know, one of the mistakes that they had on there is they had some pretty high shipping costs in comparison to mine. And I'll put flat rates on hats because I know the controlled cost. They had $7.99 shipping on their hats. And a lot of their hats, because they said, I just keep dropping the prices, they still won't sell. And they had hats in there for like $6. $7.99 shipping, which I think is a mental block for a lot of people. So I think that was part of the problem. They did have hats that I would sell in there, however, but there was a ton in there that I would probably just pass up. That looked pretty similar to hats that are worth money. There was a lot of NASCAR hats in there, but they were all the heavy bent, kind of made in China stuff that you find at the flea market. And you can sell those too, but you're going to be hard pressed to get even $7 for a lot of those, especially when you're shipping $7.99. And you're much better off lotting those up, for instance. And it made me want to give them a video, the video that Chernock did, saying, hey, this is what you want to look for in a hat. Because a lot of those hats that look cool, they might even be in great condition, just aren't going to sell very quickly, or at all. Now, there's always exceptions to the rule, of course. This hat sold pretty quickly for me. This is the TPC Sawgrass, so there's a lot of people out there. It's got the old strap in the back. And it is this one, does it say America's Best? So made in America on this one. And a lot of people just buy hats because of what's on the hat. And you're not going to find a whole ton of tournament, the Players Championships Sawgrass hats out there. And that one sold like in a day or two for me. And it sold for $17 plus shipping. But this is really the kind of thing I look for right here. It's these old ones. And especially if it's boat related, fisherman related, that kind of stuff. A lot of times you'll get a sale. And they are older hats, but this is a K Products hat right there. K Products hat from Norse Craft. And it's not, you can see, it's not in the best condition in the world. I didn't clean it, I didn't shape it, which Chernock would tell you to do, right? But it sold, and it sold pretty quickly, $35 plus shipping. And as cool as this hat is, it will get nowhere near $35 plus shipping. That'll be a tough seller right there. This is the kind of stuff I look for right here. That's some good stuff. You can tell it's a vintage hat right there. Super stripe AJD hat. And they don't have to be old, but it sure as heck helps. So let me know, because I have noticed, and I said there's a little bit of truth, I have noticed hat sales slowing down, but I suspect it's because of the winter time as opposed to earlier in the year, in the spring and the summer, where you're going to see a lot more people buy hats. I was headed inside to grab a t-shirt, which is the other thing I wanted to talk about, and I found a kitty. Picked up another animal on the way in here, and here's a t-shirt. T-shirts are kind of the same, and y'all, let me tell you, it took me a while to learn this stuff. All NASCAR shirts aren't made alike. This one's even got a little stain on it. This one's a double stitcher, but the reason I picked it up is, well, I picked it up because it was in a bundle, but you don't often see that shirt, $19.99, in those colors for Dale. And it had a back hit on it as well. Subject matter matters. And a lot of you know this out there. You've been picking for a long time. It's not quite as simple as everybody makes it seem out there. You got to know a little bit about something. And let's face it, there's a ton of categories I know nothing about. And I try to get a little bit better at them. But t-shirts are the same way. This one sold for $25 plus shipping. But somebody else could look like my dad. You know, he's out there picking with me sometimes, help me out a ton. You know, moving stuff around and just being an all-around good guy to me. But, you know, he would look at NASCAR shirts and he wouldn't know the difference. You know, two of them sitting right there, which one was good and which one wasn't good. He's learned a little bit over time, and he's actually found me some pretty good t-shirt hauls. Sometimes on accident and sometimes because he knew what he was supposed to be looking for. So I appreciate that. But that's the kind of thing where a lot of people get misconceptions and then they blame it on whoever told them, when in reality, there's a lot of nuance to this stuff, especially in VHS, for instance. You know, a lot of people, I get messages every day with pictures of VHS. Is this worth anything? Is this worth anything? The answer is no, 99% of the time. Every once in a blue moon, there's one worth something, and there's subtle differences that mean big bucks. I've seen people do this with sterling silver versus silver plate. People that are just starting out and they spend big bucks on something they think it's worth a lot and it's not. Sold Gomer Pyle. And Gomer Pyle set. So I wasn't a big fan of Gomer Pyle. I hope I don't make anybody mad out there by saying that, but Gomer Pyle was not my favorite show. Not at all. But it still sold for $20 plus shipping. For any of you folks that have been doing this a while, is there another category out there that you know really well that you think a lot of people just don't know? And if so, what is it about that category that throws people off? It's got a little issue right there, but I think it's just dust. It's a Tiki Barber jersey. And apparently, even though the Cowboys are doing well, it's not in terribly high demand. $23 plus shipping on that one. This next one gets me excited because, A, it's a Reseller. Bought this one down at the Webster Flea Market as well. And it sold for $29 plus shipping. And it went to Joseph Jedi Family Man. And it sold over on Dibdit. Dibdit.com. So, I don't know. I love selling over there. It's been a fun little thing we've been doing for a while, and I'm selling the stuff that I love. I think that's over there right now as well, Dark Crystal. I love the very most. I think I only have like 10 listings up. So thank you, Joseph. I appreciate that. There is a code. I don't think you used it, by the way, but first-time purchases over there if they use code Commonwealth or go through that link down there, you get $10 off through Christmas. And then after Christmas, it's $5 off, which, by the way, if anybody ever wants to buy something off of eBay, anytime you use eBay and use code Commonwealth, anytime, not the first time, you get 5% off. Next one I picked up at the Highway 21 sale. Matter of fact, I picked it up the day before, and I paid up a little bit for this one. I think I paid $5 because it only sells for $14, and I'd like to pay $2 or $3 for something that sells for $14. But I'm not going to make sure I get the right one. Is this My Little Pony? Is that My Little Pony? I don't think it is. It's because I'm looking down here, but look, My Little Pony. And the reason I did is because it was early on, and this lady had okay prices, but I had seen quite a few really cool things, and I wanted to get the ball rolling, making some sales, so I could make a bundle deal a little bit later. But My Little Pony, equestrian something or other. No, is it equestrian? Does that look equestrian to you? Well, My Little Pony, I guess ponies are equestrian. Sold for $14 plus shipping. We sold an Animan, and I've kind of lost track of the fact that I should be listing one of these a week because we've been doing the 50-50 charity auction with those ornaments. We'll probably stop that after Christmas, by the way. And then we'll continue it, I don't know, maybe next November. But we sold an Animan. And looking at the auction here, it doesn't have a message, but I'm going to thank Chris. We appreciate you very much, and I hope, assuming you have an eBay store, let me look at your feedback here. 141. It's likely you have. Either that or you buy a lot on eBay. So we appreciate you, and I hope it gets things moving for you. So another Damn It doll. I think only one headed out of here today, and it's a cross-listing sale. Didn't even sell on eBay. And I believe it's the purple and gold one, which I can see right here. And nope, that's the Steeler-looking colors. It looked purple through that pink, but it's not. I put them all in one bin at this point, so we have an empty bin now. So we're selling right through them. Purple and gold. Purple and gold. There it is right there. And these are going, I think, for like 19 bucks. I think that's right, plus shipping. And I sold 2 more hats, and these aren't high-end hats, but they sold together because I put them in a lot. I will say this about hats. If you're anything like me, this is not the way to store it. But if you ever start selling hats, I promise you, you will never have an empty bin. It's like the Elisha story in the Bible, you know, where the oil never runs out. Or the Hanukkah story, the Antiochus Epiphanes, where the oil for the lamps never run out. No matter how many hats I sell out of this bin, it's still full We took 4 out of there today, and it looks like it's even more full than when I started. These 2 Volvo hats, not high-end by any stretch, but they sold for $20 plus shipping. And I sold 2 ET pins. This is to a viewer. I think 3 of the sales were to viewers today. Just gotta find the right one. My handy-dandy little toy addict sent me these little things. Thank you. I need another one, by the way. I need one for that, if you're listening out there. We appreciate you. All right, 2 of these sold $4.99 a piece. I was thinking about putting these in sets of 2 over on Did before Christmas so that people could use that code and get it for free, but I don't think it includes shipping. So, oh, I don't know. Maybe I don't know what we'll do. We might do that. These 2 are $4.99 a piece, so $10 plus shipping. And Brenda, I think it went to Brenda. Yep, I'm a viewer and I made multiple purchase. Can you send all in one box and combine the shipping? Oh, you got the hats as well. All right, so 4 of the sales today. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. It makes sense. These are stocking stuffers for my twin sons. So each of them get a hat and each of them get a pin. Very cool. I appreciate that. We can combine shipping. I just got to remember to do it. If I ever forget to do it for somebody, don't be afraid to send me a message and I'll try my best. Send that message on eBay, by the way, because I'll probably see it on there better than I will on an email. Which, side point, my wife told me the other day, you have got to stop answering every Instagram post or every message. So I told her I promise in this episode I would tell everybody that I'm no longer going to answer every single IG. And I pretty much have up to this point, and it really does take a lot of time. So my apologies, and I will still go through there. She said, 20 minutes a day, max. Because she sees me sit there for an hour and answer these things. And anyway, she's probably right, but I appreciate you. And send the messages anyways. You might have to send them multiple times, multiple places, but I'll eventually get it. I used to use the Hanukkah story to explain to my students. I've blocked myself off back here. I'm going to have to go this way. I shouldn't do history. Give me 10 seconds. I'll do some history. Let me pick this item first. I get to do history every once in a while, don't I? You won't mind. Kind of take me back to the days when I used to teach. So the money doll, I think these are going for good money, y'all. And no pun intended. I can't remember how much. I think it's $19 for these plus shipping. No, it's not. $16, $15.95 plus shipping. So I used to try to use things that the kids were actually interested in. When things would come up, I'd use holidays to teach bigger points that they had to know for like the AP World Test or something. And I would use Hanukkah. And I'd also use Cleopatra to some degree to express a couple things. They'd have to understand eras and the transitions of eras and, how the Romans slowly came to power and how the Greeks had such dominance over the Mediterranean, especially the Eastern Mediterranean, all the way to India because of Alexander. And I would use the story of Hanukkah and the fact that the Jews were being forced to worship the Greek gods to show, hey, the Greeks had influence. Antiochus Epiphanes was Greek, and then, of course, they took over Egypt as well, and I'd show them pictures of Cleopatra, and they'd be like, yeah, well, she's white, y'all. Why is she white? Like, it's because she's Greek. And, of course, the Greeks controlled Egypt all the way up to the Romans taking over the whole Cleopatra, Julius Caesar, Mark Antony story. And then they would get the point because they wanted to hear the story of Hanukkah, especially if there were Christian kids or something in the classroom that didn't quite understand their Jewish classmates, and they'd all get into it and talk about it a little bit. So I'd use those holidays to kind of show those bigger picture things. This next sale surprises me, especially considering that jersey sold for $23 plus shipping. This t-shirt, which I think is a size small, I think that's right. I think it's this t-shirt. I'm gonna have to double check to make sure, but I'm pretty sure it's this t-shirt right here. Size small. Now it is brand new with tags. And it's a woman's shirt. I think it is. That looks like a woman's shirt to you. Yeah, women's right there. So for 20 bucks. And I'm glad I checked because not only was it not the right shirt, it wasn't even close to the right shirt. So men's size small. And it was gray instead of green, 20 bucks. Free ship. We did have a 50-50 charity auction going out of here benefiting St. Jude. So thank you to Christine. Your donation has already been made through eBay. We appreciate you very much. Reagan's ornament and Harry Tornado's ornament. Not saying much there, except for, hey, Reagan's is way better. It's also more expensive. $34 plus shipping. $17 has been shipped off to St. Jude for that purchase. We appreciate you. I haven't done history in a while, so I'll do one more real quick. So St. Jude is, to make sure I get this right here, the saint of lost causes, hopeless causes, one of those two. I gotta grab this really quick and I'll finish my story. I did run a 30% off. I picked the oldest 50 items. I don't know why I did this. I just decided to pick the oldest 50 items in the store, and I decided I'd put them on 30% off, see what happens. And just a day in, we made one sale. Not too great, but at least it's something. And it was a $10 club head cover that was in terrible condition. I never can find anything when I actually look for it with one hand. I always put the camera down and then I find it, which looks like I'm going to have to do on this one as well, unfortunately. Oh, wait, maybe that's it right there. Yep, that one is it right there. See how poor condition that is? Had it out there, for, even in that condition, had it out there for $10 plus shipping, and it didn't sell. Not a terrible surprise. So I put out there 30% off, and it sold $7. So St. Jude is the perfect saint to be the St. Jude of the children's hospital there. So at any rate, it's something that we really try to focus on. I hope there's something out there that you do as well. What was it? He's Thaddeus. He's one of the apostles, the cousin of Jesus, not nephew, cousin of Jesus. And so anyway, there's my St. Jude story. So when I put down the camera, I started thinking to myself, it's been so long since I talked about this stuff. I had to go check. And there's conflict. I don't know if Jude was the brother, the half-brother, the stepbrother, or the cousin of Jesus. But hey, whatever works. All right, Turner, I was talking a little bit about Jesus today and St. Jude today. I'm shocking you. You don't even know what I'm talking about. I'm going to tell you a joke. Think we can tell a joke kind of about Jesus and not get in trouble? When I was a kid, you want to be an announcer one day, right? Isn't that one of the things you want to do? Yeah. When I was a kid, I lived in California, and the Lakers had an announcer named Chick Hearn, and he would say the funniest stuff all the time. And I remember at the end of one game, the Lakers won by so many. They were so good back then. He said, I don't think Jesus and all the disciples could have beat the Lakers tonight. All right, not funny. But it is funny to me. You got a joke. Maybe yours will be funnier. What do you got?
It is. Who is Santa's favorite singer?
Who is Santa's favorite singer? I don't know.
Elvis Presley.
Elvis Presley. Very good, buddy.
Bye.
All right, y'all. We sent out, 88, 89 ornaments, something like that. And 2 of them never arrived. They're just lost. The tracking shows, and they're just lost. So Donald and Lola, if you're listening to this, we have sent another one to you, or we're going to. I think we sent one. We're going to send the other pretty quick. The rest, by the way, well, I'll let Reagan tell you in a minute. I want to throw something in here real quick. If you've watched our other content on other places, especially Commonwealth Picker, but we've done some on Facebook as well, exclusives over there. We've gone down to the Blessing Place a few times, and Andrea's down there, and we are running a charity auction with the stuff that they have that they gave me to run a charity auction for them, and we're going to do that here coming up. I don't have the exact date, but go check it out. It's coming up really, really quickly over on Whatnot. Go ahead and sign up for that. If you've never signed up, in the link below, should be a good time, and I can't wait. I'll tell you a little secret. We're giving a little bit of that money directly to her, because she told me that some of that stuff was her personal stuff, and let me tell you, this lady is absolutely salt of the earth, and I want to surprise her with a gift for the Blessing Place and a gift for her as well. All right, y'all, I got Reagan with a little announcement, but I want to show him something first, all right? This came from Montego Selections. This is super nice. You've been awesome to us for a long time. Look, he even said I'm a real reseller. And said a bunch of nice stuff in here. We appreciate you very much. Montego Selections. And they're in Arizona. Might hit you up here soon. West Virginia and Virginia keychains. You guys are awesome, and thank you so much for the kind words. And for the stickers, we'll put them on back there. Reagan's got a little bit of a thank you for everybody, because nothing sold today. No ornaments sold today. So we're near the end, I think.
Yep. So
89, I think, sold. I think that's right. And so I got to ask you, what do you want to do? First, you want to say thank you to everybody?
Yes. Thank you to everybody
and
for buying.
And the money's going. Of course, she got some of the money, and we, of course, paid the folks who made it for us. And we did. Some went out on St. Jude auctions, and some of them we did $1 for every sale, $89 to the local animal shelter as well. So thank you, Reagan, for all your work on this. Now, what do you want to do with them? Do you want to do 50-50 auctions next Christmas on the extra ones we have? You want to give one to Grammy?
Yeah, I think we should
or keep selling them for a little while.
Bit, just a little bit.
Because I
You
don't
wanna
think
go,
all of them
like,
are going to sell, and then do the rest with the 50.
into the new year, maybe maybe New Year's or maybe a weekend, and see if any sell. And if they don't, we'll save them for next year.
Yep.
Does that sound like a plan? Anyway, thank you, Reagan. I appreciate it.
Bye. And don't forget to get your sticker at CommonwealthPicker.com.
All right. Hey, all old-time sellers out there, don't forget to put those categories that you think you know and that other people think they know but they don't know. Leave us some comments down below. I'd be curious to see. There's some maybe on there that I don't know what the heck I'm doing, and I need to learn a little bit more about as well. We appreciate you stopping by. Hope you're having a wonderful holiday season, and I can't wait to see you next time.